But you absolutely make that point. What we've got is partner breadth. We've got great platforms, we've got great systems, we've got great toolings, and being the person that works in the cybersecurity business in that great big beast, it was how do I make this play work in the cybersecurity world that I know well. But yeah, so within TDSYNNEX, I would say taking that cybersecurity message out to the partners was something I had to focus on like really closely as well, and we work through a methodology called Practice Builder. So what are you doing? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? How are you transforming into a cybersecurity specialist as a partner? And it always comes out the type of services that they require and where their skills gaps sit. And it could be anybody. It could be player in the SMB space, player in the enterprise space, mid-market, anywhere. And it's almost we go through this consultative approach of understanding where we need to talk technology and where we need to talk services. And we do find very quickly the services piece is generally a decision that is made very quickly. Yes, we are going to invest and build our own SOC services, or no, we need to partner. Who do you recommend? What are the options that are out there? And that's kind of where we go, oh, okay, ta-da, this is the person that we partnered with. So we definitely made the decision that you guys were the perfect fit to work with us on sort of many reasons. It definitely fit the need for what our partners were asking us for, yet we didn't have the skills and capability in-house. It partnered so well with the skills and capability we had from both a subject matter expertise within cybersecurity, but also in a technical pre-sales, post-sales expertise to add that next layer, as you say, that transition from selling a license, installing a license to fully supporting a license as well. And obviously all the accolades and all the great talk that we heard around Chorus as well, and then obviously we got talking, it was really good. So, I mean, from your point of view, how's it been partnering with us? The partner reach, was it a nice, easy journey?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the why for us. I mean, we've been working the Microsoft stack now for over 20 years, specifically Sentinel since it was launched in 2018. That's what we've done, and as Microsoft has evolved and brought changes in, we've adapted and we've changed with Microsoft. And then we've got you guys, TDSYNNEX, the largest distributor, and recognising, my goodness, this is so important. This is the direction, the climate we're in now, where cybersecurity is vital. Working together, that's fantastic, and it's where our expertise are. Microsoft had their own internal assessment centre. They recently did an assessment of us, which is how we're now MXDR verified, which we're really pleased. We got invited into MISA, and an example of the expertise of where we're at is we went there, Miami, isn't it, end of last year, and they did their own threat hunter competition, and that's all the around the world, leaders in the Microsoft cybersecurity technical experts, and we won it. And for us, that was just like, yes, really pleasing moment. So with TD6 and your expertise and being the largest distributor, with us, with our expertise of over 20 years only working the Microsoft stack, it's a great partnership. So for us, it's been a great journey. There's lots to learn, and it's going to change massively as we progress, but it's certainly exciting.
And I think it should play well for partners. I think some of the key bits we've learned already in some of the work we've been doing with partners so far is that there's good knowledge there. You talked about the fact that the licensing in the Microsoft stack is very effective, and there's good capability available to a lot of organizations already. And then what we see is that we've got partners who have got good technical capability in that space, so they can deliver expertise around things like conditional access and some of the zero trust technologies that Microsoft deliver as part of their licensing. They're great at delivering that, but then they hit that block when it comes to the SOC service. And again, where you can then plug that in, we can obviously fill the gap, but in addition to that, you've got a range of partner organizations who, again, maybe they've got some familiarity with that technology, but they're not absolute experts. And by plugging in the SOC service, because that's what customers are asking for, what we're able to do is use that technology stack to feed back to them and say, actually go and talk to your customer about deploying conditional access, because what we're seeing is that they haven't yet, and it would be beneficial to both you as the partner. That's an opportunity to go back and deliver some additional value, as well as improving the customer's security posture. So everybody wins, basically.
Takes away that barrier. Sometimes when you're talking about cybersecurity, you're talking about protecting crown jewels, you're talking about IP, you're talking about newsworthy things a lot of the time. Sales people do get nervous, and there is a risk involved. And actually, when we're training sales teams up and we're talking around our sort of cybersecurity expertise, be able to go, no, it's okay, we've got the answer. And it's almost, I don't want to say productizing, but it is making that service an easy thing to talk about. I think that's one of the kind of ideas where actually that channel play with the partners and the training that we can offer through our partner relationships and our cyber expertise and knowledge in the whole of the sort of cybersecurity stack and how it's growing, it becomes that extra little bit of service and value we can offer through the expertise that you guys have built over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we've already said that you're Microsoft's biggest partner in the space, and therefore that's huge. Microsoft's investment in this space is absolutely enormous. They committed to 20 billion over a 5-year plan. I don't think there are many providers out there that are operating at that scale. So, and those commitments, again, it's obviously, this is the Microsoft we're talking about, I'll call the new one versus the old one from many years ago. So this is a Microsoft that now has offerings that cover AWS, Google Cloud, Linux, Macs, doesn't matter what it is, Android, cover all of it. They have a security offering that fits those spaces. And of course the advantage you get is those products are all talking to each other. So when you're looking at security, it's important to have that overall picture. That Microsoft story is comprehensive and it gives you the ability to see a broad picture. Yeah.
So unique factors that you guys have. What makes the service that you offer unique, special? What would you say are the major USPs?
I think Nikki's already mentioned that we're fortunate enough to be in a fairly small pool of partners to begin with in terms of our MISA membership, and also very recently the relatively new accreditation Microsoft have introduced of the MXDR verified. I think one of the important notes about that is that's a first for Microsoft in terms of their history, which is that basically Microsoft's accreditations historically have never been particularly proactive. This one actually requires Microsoft technical architects from their security team to come into and take a look at your operation, both technically and operationally, and that's new for them, so they're learning here. And I think although that's a very small pool of companies globally that have reached that accreditation, so that's a big offering for us. I think we've done a lot of work building out customized playbooks. We're happy to work with partners and customers to make sure that the solution is customized where appropriate for them, because obviously you get certain markets that require certain types of customizations. So we've put a lot of time and effort into that, and we've obviously built a lot of our own IP internally in terms of the speed to which we respond. We have some, there are 2 key metrics you tend to measure on a SOC, and one is the initial mean time to acknowledge, which runs at about 4 minutes for ourselves, and then a mean time to triage, where you actually take some action if some is required, and ours runs at about 11 minutes at the moment. So again, those critical time factors versus something like, as I talked earlier, an hour and 15 till somebody can step onto somewhere else in your network, it means that we're reacting and dealing with these things very efficiently, which is critical in this service.
I'd say it's a unique blend, isn't it, between automation and the human part of that as well, the human analyst with the automation. It's complex, but trying to get that balance right.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of vendors in the space that offer EDR type solutions, and they absolutely all have their place. It's not a case of there's only one fit here, but a lot of those EDR solutions are based around scaled tooling, where the tooling is fantastic and it'll give you plenty of alerts, but we're back to that story we were talking earlier of, well, who's actually going to be on the end of the alert, and are they going to be there in time? And those are the kinds of things. We've seen a situation recently with a client where they were using 2 of the, what I'll call, largest vendors in that space, global vendors in that space, both very well-known names, and they had that tooling in place for about 2 years, and they were breached. And our understanding is that occurred because of an alert which just sat there a little bit too long and wasn't dealt with. And again, there's that slight difference between, yes, some very clever advanced EDR type tooling and an actual human being who's sat on the end of it in real time, taking a look at it to say, time to take some action.
And with the knowledge of that customer's environment, right?
With the knowledge of
that's the key bit.
Absolutely.
And like you said, the balance between automation and human interaction and the knowledge of that customer's environment. That doesn't look quite right. There's an alert there. We're going to
Yeah, everything's got to be treated that it could easily escalate to a priority 1 level.
And working with, that's part of the solution we built with yourselves. It's a very partner-focused solution in its design. And some of those initial steps when we first start working with the partner is to have those nice detailed conversations about, for you, this individual partner, how do you want us to bring things to your attention? What things do you want us to bring to your attention? What things do you want us to just deal with on your behalf? And really get into the meat of that. And of course, it's the whole point. Each partner will be just a little bit different. They'll prefer a different response, but we can customize that.
And it addresses that skills gap piece. If we don't have enough skills in this area in order to deal with the rise of managed services that are going to be required, automation becomes key.
Yeah.
Having the right skilled people doing the right things and areas of that automated so the right people can spend time in the right places suddenly becomes even more critical.
Yeah.
We've worked with a lot of partners so far in the UK, and we're kind of talking through some of the areas, and it's a whole mixed bag of needs and requirements for sure. It's really what you were saying, in that people that just say, take that problem away, we are not specialists in this area, we would much prefer that to happen, and others saying we want you as an addition to our service so we can use the automated tools and scale bigger, faster, stronger. And I think the obvious answer is everyone's going to need something at some point in this area. Everyone is looking for a managed security solution. Everyone is looking to become Cyber Essentials accredited. Everyone needs to pass these things, yet we don't quite have the answer. And we're kind of saying here within this sort of partnership, we are trying to come up with something that can fit all the different partner requirements that we've got. So it's a really good start. The partner-to-partner piece is really exciting for me. I think it's definitely one of those areas that people just want to know more about. I think people realise if they want to get to a point of rising as an MSSP, you don't have the skills everywhere. And in every part of our business, we're kind of noticing the partner-to-partner piece rise a lot quicker, all that need. And the questions tend to come back into the different communities like RTD Advanced, don't they, in the ways in which they are. So I think it's a great start from where we are and kind of how we're using. And it's great to work with specialisms in high growth vendors such as our Microsoft community as well. And as we sort of alluded to at the beginning, it's a real kind of part and parcel. It's now Microsoft are part of the security stack. We can't get away from that.
No.
It's how you work with Microsoft as a security community now, and how we can make sure the elements that all put these pieces together to build a great security posture can work. I think the high growth vendors are really important to what we do, aren't they? Last thing to say is thanks very much for your time, guys. Really appreciate you coming down. Look forward to working with you more.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.